Hi everybody, it is Sensei Val. So I'm finally sharing our surprise or changes that are happening coming in January 2023. So if you read the email already, you know that we are changing our name officially. I've owned the business now for about 1.5 years. It'll be 2 years in May. And as I said in the email, I was in no rush to change it. I really wanted to kind of see where I wanted to take the dojo, take the business and everything. And after getting some of my certifications and learning so much more over the past 1.5 years, almost 2 years, I know exactly where I want to take it. So you saw it's a name change. That's the biggest change that's happening right now. And in addition to it, I guess that's not the biggest change, I guess. Biggest change that we're adding some cool stuff. We're adding a new class for the kids. And I really wanted to use this video to obviously type about the name change and stuff and why I chose it, and as well as this new strength training class. I'll start with the name first. So fundamentals. Carla and I were kind of going back and forth about it, and I had thought of the word like functional and kind of going on that route, and then she had said fundamentals, and I was like, that's perfect. I looked at the definition of fundamentals, like that is it. That is what I want. I think I actually have it here. So we're having new merch and stuff, guys. So if you look at the definition, you can ignore the bottom one. This will be a shirt that's available soon. We're going to change it a little bit, but there's going to be a definition shirt on the back just for fun because I like it. But if you read it, forming a necessary base or core of central importance. So because we're going to be adding strength training, like after I've learned a lot about it and I've done it for a decent amount of time now, that is really of central importance. Like you need to have a strong body and muscles and you need to keep that for the rest of your life. I can't tell you how many people I've trained that are adults that it's sad. You know, it's really sad how as people age, their body's just deteriorating. You're sitting at a desk all day long and I can get to a whole thing about that. But after reading that definition, I was like, that's what I want to teach. I want to make sure that people have the fundamentals down so you can do anything, whether you want to be a performance athlete or you are maybe a child who isn't an athlete and you just simply need the basics. You need those fundamentals so you can live your life healthy and build habits now while you're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. So when you're 30 or 40 or 80, it's not, oh, I never exercised a day in my life. I don't know how to do it, so I'm not going to. Because that's the main issue I would argue, is that people did not develop these skills when they were younger, and it becomes much harder to develop them as you get older. So start when you're young. That being said, there are certain windows of adaptation for strength training and athletic development for kids, and it's relatively young. It's relatively young. For boys and girls, it kind of changes, but like the median age, I would say, is like 8 to 9 years old. There's a window of opportunity between, I think, 6 to 8 and then like 11 to 13 for boys and girls. So those are my kids. Those are my kids as far as age groups go. You know, we go everything from 4.5 to older teenagers. So we have kids that really need to learn to develop their athletic skills. Even if your child is not an athlete. If your child's not an athlete, I tell my adult strength training clients all the time that even if you're not an athlete, like you need to train the same things that an athlete does. Maybe not to the same extent because you're not, running a marathon, you're not, playing baseball, whatever it is. But those same skills that athletes use are the same skills that your average Joe needs on a daily basis as they age. So we want to maximize the kids' athletic development. We do that through strength training. I think one of the concerns most people have in regards to strength training for kids is, well, weights are dangerous. Here we go. They're not dangerous. Okay, they're not dangerous. If you're being an idiot, I speak very candidly. If you're being a moron with weights, yeah, they're dangerous. But if you're a moron with anything, things are dangerous. So as long as you have somebody who knows what they're doing, I know what I'm doing, I promise. I'm confident in my ability to teach kids, first of all, and I can teach them strength training, I teach them martial arts, I can teach them anything. I'm confident in my ability to do that. Plus, I think something that parents don't really think about, or just people who aren't familiar with strength training don't think about in regards to kids doing it, is there's no difference between the resistance that I would give a child using a kettlebell or a dumbbell or a barbell, not barbells, but for any form of resistance. There's no difference between that and the backpack they carry around all day long, or when you ask your child to play a sport and they're throwing a ball at X amount of miles per hour or whatever it is, or they're running around playing basketball, or they are wrestling their friends, or they're playing on the playground or doing monkey bars, like that's all resistance. It's all resistance. And there's inherent danger in running around on a playground or wrestling with your friends or throwing a baseball or whatever it is. So think about it like that. Like your kids are always putting resistance on their body. There's no reason they can't do it with a kettlebell or a dumbbell or a barbell or, insert modality here. So it is not inherently dangerous if they don't know what they're doing and they're just, not being focused with it or whatever. Then there's inherent risk, obviously, but that's with anything. So try not to think about it like that if that's something that concerns you. It is, if they do it now, it's going to serve them for the rest of their lives, which brings me into my next thing is, even when kids are doing martial arts training, like things aren't perfect. It might never be perfect, and that's okay. You want kids to have fun, and the biggest thing that I hope people get out of this, or kids get out of this, besides, obviously the strength out of it for their muscles and their body and all that good physical stuff, is I want them to develop the confidence to keep these habits of I'm strength training till they are 80. Get kids comfortable now with using weights and moving their bodies and learning about how their bodies work now, just like they learn their alphabet and counting and all that stuff. Kids need to learn how to take care of their bodies now. Let them build these habits now. So when they are 20 and they go to college, they aren't doing dumb shit, to be totally frank. They aren't destroying their bodies by drinking constantly and eating like garbage and not moving their bodies and sleeping till God knows when. And listen, when they're in college, obviously that's a different story. That people do that all the time. But my point being is let them develop these habits now. So as they age, whether it's college or young adulthood or when they become parents one day, it's not a question of, should I go join a gym? No, I already have a gym membership or I already work out at home. Like this is part of my life. This part of it, just like I get up and brush my teeth, I get up and I work out. Or I have a workout in somewhere during the day and I'm developing my body so I'm not a fall risk when I'm 70 years old. Or I know how to get up out of a seat or get up out of a chair. I can't tell you again how many clients and things I've seen that, you can't even pick yourself up out of a chair. And it's one of the saddest things I've ever seen, to be totally honest. And I have, people who I've learned from as far as coaches that I've had and people who are teach my kettlebell certifications and sports performance things, and they're actually PTs or physical therapists or occupational therapists, and they see it day in and day out, more so than I do. Obviously I work with kids most of the time, but they see people in their 70s and 80s who can't lift themselves out of a chair because working out and strength training on stuff, it was never a part of their life. It's just not something that they ever did for themselves most of the time. So these things are so incredibly important. They are fundamental to humans' existence, I would say, or success in their existence, if that makes sense. Like if you want to live a healthy life that's worth living, you need to train your muscles. You need to do this. And I think it's important for kids to develop that at this stage of the game. So all that being said, we're going to be adding a strength training class only 2 days a week right now. It's going to be for kids ages 8 and up. We're going to see how it goes as far as like how many kids are in class and stuff. And if we need to separate ages, like separate into 2 classes, we are going to do that. We're going to see how it goes for the first couple months or so. And we'll make adjustments as need be. If we see that it's a lot of the younger kids and maybe a lot of older kids together, maybe we'll separate it, like I said, but we'll, make adjustments as we need to. For those kids in the advanced and teen class who also want to take the strength training, they can do back-to-back. So the kids' classes, the advanced and teen class is usually at 6:30. We're bumping everything up, as you might have saw in the schedule change. So they have class at 6:30, 7:15. Strength training classes right after that, so they can take a double, which is awesome. So they'll have strength training from 7:15 to 7:45. I did that too, just so everything was not super late for the kids. Obviously they have school and stuff, so I don't want them getting out of here 8:30 p.m. on the weekdays and stuff. So that is that. What else? So name change, fundamental strength and defense, adding a strength training class for kids ages 8 and up, and schedule change. Everything is shifted just 15 minutes, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue for anybody. If you're watching, you take the adult strength training class. We shifted your days from Monday, Wednesday to Tuesday, Thursday, same time, 7:30 to 8:15. If you're a parent, you're not part of the strength training class, you get a discount for coming to the strength training class. So if you're interested in that, definitely come. I encourage it for everybody for the same reasons why I just said for the kids. Same reason it's important for you guys. If you don't want to be, 70 years old and struggling to get out of a chair or going up the stairs or worried about falling, start strength training and do it with somebody who you trust. Get a coach. I don't care if it's me or somebody else. Just make sure they know what they're doing. Get to the gym, learn how to move your body properly, and build yourself up, guys, because it's important. This was longer than I expected, but I think it's easier just to record a video than write an email that's like 8 pages long. So hopefully that answers any questions that you guys have. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out. But that is it. So again, I really appreciate everybody's support with everything. For those of you who've been with me forever, since before I owned the dojo, to those of you who had no idea that this was even owned by somebody else in the past year and a half, I really appreciate everybody's love and support. And I hope you guys know where my heart is at as far as helping these kids and helping you guys. Like, this is what I love doing. This is what I love doing. And I believe that is what makes this place successful and this community successful, is that I truly love what I do. Like, as much as it's nice to own my own business and make money and stuff, like, I really hope that I'm making an impact with you guys and your kids, and am helping them down the road, or now and down the road in the future. So thank you again so much for your support. In addition to, before I let you guys run, the t-shirt size that I asked you guys, because we're gifting everybody with a free t-shirt once we get our new logo and everything. So once that's all set up and we have our order come in, we're going to start handing out t-shirts. You can obviously buy more too if you want, like 2 of them. But we're going to be gifting everybody with their first one, new logo and everything, and they can start wearing it to class ASAP. You can also wear the old logo until May of this year. So if you have old shirts, keep wearing them. It's all good. But if you want the new logo, you can come purchase those too after you get your gifted one, all right? Have a great rest of your day, everybody. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Love you guys. Thank you.